So on defense here, we have Moonal on Reinhardt. People will be playing McCree. Nico on Genji, not Reaper. Bod, of course, on Symmetra. Cabal on Zenyatta. And actually, an interesting play. They're going to run Torbjorn, and that's going to be played by Deegan.
Interesting. So we have the defensive Torbjorn. We did have Too Easy on the offensive Torbjorn, but that wasn't going to last. Looking at the rest of the offense, we got Voltaja on the McCree, Too Easy on Pharah, as mentioned, Unfixed on Junkrat, Winghaven on the Reinhardt, Morte on Mercy, and Cruz rounding things out on the Lucio.
Yeah, so
both teams trading off in the beginning here. We see the Mercy in the back. Mercy healing up Reinhardt, but mostly working on boosting up Too Easy, and both teams just poking back and forth. And Reunite being a little bit hesitant here, Dex.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a interesting, setup here that they're kind of just poking through, but they're going to have to deal with this turret at some point. They have the tools to deal with it, but that turret took down the Pharah, or not the Pharah, the Mercy early on.
Yeah, the turret honestly can be a huge problem to deal with. I mean, Torbjorn's sort of feast or famine. Either the turret's getting good value and things are going well, or somehow the turret dies early and then Torbjorn just struggles for the rest of the fight. Sometimes it's in between, but it seems to be go big or go home when it comes to Torbjorn. But Nico with first kill able to take out Morte. Voltage and Winghaven, though, coming in off the back, 2 kills of their own. And now take a look at Too Easy. Too Easy flanking up over the top, and this is going to be a lot of good poke for Reunite as they start positioning onto a point. In fact, pushing back Melty a bit here.
Yeah, they're kind of just slow and methodical. They get in. They do take down the sentry turret as well, so it's opened up. Molten Core is out, though, now. Deegan looking to go ham.
Yeah, Deegan definitely looking to go ham. And, of course, this is the once-vaunted Melty defense on King's Row, perhaps a little less vaunted. 4 kills now for Reunited. Look at the tire from Unfixed, looking for a victim. No one to be found because everyone's already dead. It's going to be a quick first cap for Melty. 6:15 is the time.
Yeah, about $1.45 to take that first point. So pretty good. I mean, they got slowed down. Then it's just a methodical push. And they do have some ultimates to work with here. Winghaven has been known to land game-changing Earth Shatters here. So he's got his Morte also is going to try to stay alive to get his resurrection up. They are trying to clear subways right now. Brutal. They both go down.
Cabal and Moonal able to take out both Too Easy and Morte there, which means that look at how aggressive they're being. The defensive Earth Shatter comes down from Melty, doesn't hit anything. I just wondered, do they need to be that aggressive at this part of the cart? Because one thing I think we're seeing a little bit here that's differentiating teams, I've noticed that there's a trend in defense here. Teams aren't going as ham and trying to punish people far back. Like, it's nice when you get that full wipe, but it's also nice to get like 2 kills and then get really good defensive positioning as well.
I actually like where they're holding here too, because they're holding this left side alley. They don't want people to be able to get in the subway and take down their teleporter.
2 kills now for Melty as Reunite comes in. Cruz coming out again. Look at this. Here comes the res from Morte. Morte's going to die for that res, but it's going to bring up most of the Reunited squad. It is now a 5v5 between both teams. Reunited moving in. They are down that Mercy. Unfixed goes down just a moment, so it's a 4v6. Here they come. They're rushing in. Reinhardt on the charge. A very aggressive charge coming out from Moonal, and Deegan able to mid-air Too Easy and take him out. So Reunited, I sort of liked how they're fighting for positioning here, but Melty is going to push them out again, without a doubt. And down goes Cruz. A nice rocket coming out from Deegan there.
Yeah, and speak of the devil on Nico. Nico is now coming up as Reaper.
Yep, this is a classic Melty here. We've seen Nico do a lot of work as Reaper on this map in the past. But again, teams have, like we were talking before, teams have gotten a little bit better at dealing with it. It's not quite the trump card it once was, but here we go. Voltaja coming in. Runs into the backside of Nico. Nico able to take him out, but Voltaja still didn't take out Pipo before he dies. And Deegan coming over the top. A nice barrage going to kill 3 people. At least I think it was a barrage. Yes, it was. Barrage taking that out. And wow. So he will go down to midair from Too Easy at the end, but the momentum definitely on Melty's side as they are keeping Reunited out of the streets.
Yeah, and they're holding very far forward, and Melty doesn't really know how to deal with this just yet. They're not able to take right side as they're holding there. The teleporter was up, now out of charges, actually.
Well, we do have a tire out unfixed. With the tire, it's bobbing and weaving. It's going in, and that's going to be a great tire with the Voltage follow-up. They're going to get 3 kills now for Reunited as they push forward.
Yeah, this should be enough to break through. Only Bod still alive in the back end. All those turrets behind absolutely useless now, although there is a Pharah coming behind the cart.
Now the Pharah is being sneaky. It's not quite McCreepin, but it's Deegan being sneaky here in the back, looking for opportunity. She is spotted out. Too Easy sees it. Flashbang comes down. Not able to kill her just yet. She gets a little bit poked. Will go down to Voltaja. However, as Reunited pushing on almost at the second checkpoint, And should they get that? I mean, this is still a decent time so far. They got stopped a little bit, but still moving forward. 5:09 left on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, so they definitely got held up there in the streets longer than they would have liked to, and we're going to see Peepu come up on the Widowmaker here, which we see a lot of defensive Widowmakers here, but Too Easy has been playing a phenomenal Widow himself, and he will try to counter it on offense.
Yep, Too Easy versus Peepu is going to be a thing. Who will reign supreme? Both of them shooting pot shots at each other. They both know that the other is looking at each other, so... But whichever team does win the Widow fight is going to have a big advantage. And there comes Too Easy with the pick off on the Peepu. And now Too Easy going to be free to snipe as he wishes here. We do have a Deadeye coming out from Nico, I believe.
Almost immediately. Valutaja was going to high noon to try to zone things out, but most of the team was dead. He was not in a good position to do it.
Yeah, Reunite still with a lot of momentum here. They're keeping the cart moving as they go forward. Looking strong so far. Too Easy versus Peepu. Too Easy gonna get that kill on Peepu. 4 kills now for Reunite as they are rolling forward. And now this is suddenly panic time for Melty. Melty defense is totally broken down. And it doesn't... they're not quite capping it yet. Looks like my screen is slowing down, but no. There's the cap. As Reunited going to make up for some of their delay in the streets for a really quick third phase on King's Row.
Yeah, a medium first phase, a tough second stage, and then a really good third phase. It's going to be a pretty, well, I don't want to say mediocre, it's got connotations to it. A pretty medium time here set by...
Isn't it weird how mediocre has become a word that's just like a dirty word here? Just like, oh, what do you think of that person? Yeah, they're mediocre.
Yeah, I blame Mad Max.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the word mediocre in general. I don't know. I'm thinking of this. I never think of the time where mediocre is really said positively. It's not quite as bad as saying, oh, that person's terrible. It's like, you know, they're mediocre.
It's almost worse.
It's not particularly complimentary. As opposed to saying, yeah, I know they're not bad. Saying someone's not bad is, in a sense, saying the same thing, but it's not taken as an insult. What do you think, Zozo? You know they're not bad.
Yeah, it's just the way language works, connotation, intonation, all of those things that they teach you in English classes. Word selection is important, people.
It's like, you know, I think a better way of going about it, yeah, rather than ever calling somebody who's like, there's great, then there's not bad, and then there's bad.
Right.
And then finally, you come to the real thing, bad. So, 5:51 is the time to beat for Melty as they go in on the attack here on King's Row. As a note, our next map is going to be Lijiang, so we're going to get some bit of variation between the two teams. And we'll just have to see how things work out now for Melty versus the Reunited defense.
Yeah, decent time. Again, it's going to be interesting to watch the street phase. It's been so strange on King's Row. There was almost 2 weeks two-week period where we almost saw teams not ever fight in the streets at all, really. Like, you would take first point, there might be a little minor skirmish at the gateway there, and then it would be all the way back to that area on second point where defenses just felt much more comfortable not having to watch and deal with flanks. But as compositions have changed, almost back to the old school compositions of a lot of Pharahs, Zaryas, Reinhardts in the street, we've seen that street area become brawly yet again.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where people realize they don't want to give up ground without good reason. I mean, there's no reason not to. I get it that they think they might defend further back and it's better to have a good setup there, but really the last part of the third point for, the first part of the third point for King's Row, oftentimes people are going to get that for free anyway, so you might as well fight in the streets because you're going to get a chance to set up for your defense anyways.
Yeah, it's also been different styles of defense too. We mentioned Quake Fortress as a team that will take a fight to you on defense. They will initiate fights with you on defense. They just like brawling. They feel that their strength is in team fights and forcing those team fights, whereas a team even like Envious on the North American side is very patient in their defense, will always look for you to make a mistake on offense before they initiate. So it's definitely styles are coming into play too. Now the style that offense is going to be running today is a double orb composition. Nico will be on the Genji, Moon L and Cabal will run Zenyatta's bot, of course, on Symmetra. Deegan will run a Tracer, and Peepu starting off with offensive Widow.
Yep, again, we're going to see the Widow look for picks, and I gotta say, it's just, I'm getting less and less impressed with offensive Widow on the early part of King's Row because I feel like most of the times we see it, we don't really see the Widow getting that many picks. Every now and then they do, but it's gotten to the point where even just operating the camera, I'm just like, maybe I don't really want to watch Widow in the beginning. Nothing's going to happen anyways.
I think teams are more aware of her.
Yeah. And we see a good defense coming up from Reunite so far. Of course, Valutaja getting that first pick. We do have a Tracer in the back. That's E-Gun. But look at this. 2 more kills coming up for Reunited as they hold strong. Peepu now trying to get forward as that and gets obliterated by 2 headshots from Valutaja. And now Munel in the crosshair. So Valutaja starting off strong. But yeah, back to the Widow note. I don't really know. I think teams are aware of it. And then I just think that there's a point where Widows aren't necessarily making the most of their opportunities. You have very, very quick opportunities, but they're there. And, you know, short of Taibu, a lot of Widows aren't really getting it. So I'm not sure how useful your average Widow is right now, especially early on in King's Row.
Yeah, I mean, more the last couple days especially, we've kind of been knocking people for staying on Widow a little too long. Like, there's just not the value there. Switch off, you're hurting your team.
Yep, so far, a very good defense coming out from Reunited. Winghaven takes out Cabal, and just operating on all cylinders here. And meanwhile, we're taking a look at Voltagia, but we also have Unfixed on the Junkrat. Note that he's in a different place. Like, there's multiple areas where you can run Junkrat. If this were Pluppy, perhaps Pluppy would be in the Junkrat Alley, as we've called it, but he's just sitting up here spamming, but it's still pretty darn effective for weakening people and letting Voltagia 1 or 2 shot them right after.
Yeah, so
speaking of, we have Nico coming in. Nico able to take out Unfixed. Both teams down a player. The Deadeye comes out from Voltagia, takes out Cabal. So again, we see Reunited just, you know, nothing flashy, nothing full team wiping, but they're getting the kills they need, and they're really stalling out Melty here.
Yeah, they've got a defensive teleporter up, a couple of good defensive ults up.
Oh no, Bot hits a great orb onto Voltagia. Voltagia actually kills Bot at the same time, but down goes Voltagia. That's a big part of the defense, and now momentum going in favor of Melty as they are trying to push through here.
Yeah, they're able to get in the back and take down that teleporter as well, which is huge for denying reinforcements, but that room is still completely locked up in sentries.
Yeah, the sentries worked as a big detriment to them there, and Unfixed was actually able to come in with some big Junkrat bombs and turn it the other way. So Melty, while it was looking good, Voltagia was down. Voltagia is now back, and they're effectively starting from scratch as they try and get through here on this Reunited defense. There's Peepoo. Peepoo able to get the pick on Winghaven now. And now the shield is down. He's looking for picks. He's sniping back and forth, trying to get those pickoffs. Is getting speed. Will get Cruz. But look at that. Voltagia and Unfixed coming right back, getting 3 kills of their own. Multiple people down on both sides here. But as long as the teleporter's up for 2 easy, is not up. The teleporter went down at some point. He is charging up, though defense is going to have to run all the way back. So this could be a time for a turnabout for the offense.
Yeah, I mean, it was really rough. Winghaven hit a nice defensive Earth Shatter, was able to charge away one of the Zenyatas. Somehow that Zen did not die. Then both of the offensive Transcendences came in, and there just wasn't really enough for them to push on it.
Yep, that's 4 kills now from Melty. So Melty going to go for it. In fact, Nico being hyper-aggressive, uses the Dragon Blade to take out Morte, is looking for another Zenyatta victim if possible. He is going super deep in, but he's going to have to put away the Dragon Blade as... Melty now moving the car and going forward, but they only have about 2 minutes and 20 seconds off tech, so Melty not exactly working with the largest amount of time. If Reunite can delay them at all in the street phase, I think it's going to be GG.
I think that's why you see them push so far forward as far as Nico and D-Gun as well. They're trying to open up all that space. They don't want to have to fight in the streets at all.
I just remembered commentary from there not to watch Nico when he's not actually fighting, because he does the entire, like, mouse wiggle thing every 2 seconds. It's just going to make everyone want to vomit on stream.
Whatever works for him, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not judging. I mean, you know, whatever he wants to do, but from the caster point, it's like, wait a second. Taking a look here as the offensive Melty moves forward. Marte able to take out Nico, so down goes Nico, 65 in favor of Reunited. Reunited deciding to hold this very far back. They're not actually contesting a whole lot of streets phase. Maybe they just know that they only need to get 1 or 2 good team fights to win, and they're conceding a little bit more, or this is how they always run it. Who knows? We do have D-Gun versus 2easy in the back streets right now. Tracer v Tracer action. 1 Tracer will live, 1 Tracer will fall. D-Gun able to get the health, and that is not good for 2easy.
Yeah.
2easy though hanging in there, and he's actually able to kill him anyways, so 2easy with the superior tracking in that battle. D-Gun not even able to turn it with the health. Meanwhile, Pulse Bomb going down. Will it kill Zenyatta? Yes, it gets the Zenyatta. Or sorry, gets the Genji and the teleport. I think Zenyatta was able to peace out before it blew him up.
Yeah, and just a really one-sided fight there coming down there. And while Tracer was doing a ton of work, Morte was getting kill after kill on his Zen. So now they're completely set up on this cart. This cart's moving backwards through the street. That's one way to defend the streets. Let him get through, kill him, and then just wait for the cart to move backwards.
Definitely. So right now, really time-wise, this might already be GG. I mean, there's only 45 seconds left.
Yeah.
Mathematically, unless Reunited were to leave the game entirely, I just don't think there's any way Melty can push this to the end. So this has got to be Reunited's game at this point.
Well, it's definitely the final pusher. We'll see if the cart gets stopped at all. It is definitely going to be GG.
Well, two kills now for Reunited, 3 kills. This fight is going to go the way of Reunited. And as a result, Reunited going to be taking map 1. There it is, GG's coming out from Melty. So nice stuff coming up from Reunited, going up 1-0 versus Melty here in our game on Overwatch Arena.
Check this out.
So we're gonna wait for them to move the cart here, see where things go. Everyone's saying, move it, move the cart. We'll get to see the infamous truck of tears, as it were.
Yeah, D-Gun standing alone on the cart. Morte trying to get out of the way. Get out of the way, Morte.
But
Yeah.
what happened to Forever Alone meme? I feel like you used to see it all the time, and now it's just sort of, you know, it's gone, it's dead, it's over.
I don't know.
It's gone to the graveyard.
Maybe it hit too close to home for some people. They didn't like typing it out.
It had like the sad guy with the sad face and everything.
Yeah, the giant, the very
The tears like going down the eye of Forever Alone. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, there's like a whole bunch of memes before there are memes going. I'm thinking way back then, you know, you had All Your Base Are Belong to Us, Peanut Butter Jelly Time.
Oh, I love peanut butter jelly time.
It had like the dancing banana. Are we just old?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think you're hitting the core of it right now, is we're just old.
Someone help me move this.
Oh man, the
I
good old
think-
days of the internet where 14.4 modems were 14.4 modems.
I think
And Genjis could kill themselves as necessary.
E-Bomb's world was probably around before Mendo was born, so that is, that's
Hey,
how,
look,
that's
I
how
even
times
remember
work.
Dig. Anyone remember Dig before they screwed up the website and basically let Reddit become a thing?
I do remember Dig. A lot of ASCII spam in the comment sections.
Ah, the good old days.
Do you remember? I used to read Slashdot before Dig became a thing.
Slashshot. Slashshot's still a thing.
Yeah, it's just very much tech-oriented, and I'm too dumb to follow most of it.
Indeed. So,
Indeed, thanks.
that is going to be map 1 of Melty vs. Reunited. Reunited striking first blood on King's Row, going up 1-0 over Melty. Let's see if Melty can turn their fortunes around on their map choice, which is in fact Lijiang Towers.